Well, hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Windrose. And now that I am at the end game and I have the options to have the max, let's say, equipment in the game, I did my research and I also did my testing, so I can provide you with all the knowledge you need for making your own builds for understanding this game as much as all of us do. There are some beginner tips and information here, and there is some for like the late game hardcore players, let's say, so it's a mix. So this will be everything that currently is known in the game about the weapon system. Okay, so I don't blame me for this. This is a culminative analysis based on 3 different spreadsheets that I found on the internet about the damage testing and so on that people have done on the game about the weapons. So nobody knows exactly numbers right now. These are the most accurate numbers I could find. Okay, so don't hit me, please. Number 1. First of all, look, there are 2 things that you need to always keep in mind about stat system, weapons, and fighting in general. No matter what you do, there are 2 things that will be dominantly controlling how much damage you're doing to something. One is your level. Do not be less than 3 levels lower, or more than 3 levels lower than your enemies. That will mitigate all of your damage, almost a lot of it. It's like 50-70%ish reduction. Okay, so no matter how good your stuff are, you will do much less damage if you're lower level than them. That's it. That's a given. The next one is your weapons level is exactly the same thing. If your weapon level is almost equal to your enemy's level, it will do 100% damage-ish. But, for example, if you're fighting a level 15 enemy, you need a level 15 weapon. If you're fighting a level 9, you can kill it with a level 7 or 8, but killing it with a level 5 will be atrocious. So, don't do it. This game is a farming game, so no matter what you do, how much micromanagement you do on these is unimportant. You know why? Because this is one of the biggest finds so far. See that 20 attack that you're getting on your weapon when you're upgrading it? That is roughly equal to 12 strength or agility or precision point. Yeah, that 20 attack that you're getting per upgrade on your weapon is almost 12 strength. This is all the stats that I have right now, and I'm level 11. Look, see, like, this is 2 level ups on a weapon. So see, that is how important this and this is. So if you don't have either this or this, your build, your stats, your talents do not matter. That's it. End of the story. This game has been bottlenecked by the developers, so you have to spend time doing the side quests and farming. So you have playtime. Okay? It's strategic. It's a good thing. I love it. And I hate it at the same time. Because I can't go level 1 versus level 15 mobs. But anyways, that's aside from the point. That is what you have to always keep in your mind. Now, when it comes to making your builds, making your weapons, like your builds, you are free to do whatever you want. Like the main thing about the armor and so on, just make these stat appropriate, choose whatever you want. About the armor, make it be the same level as your enemies. That's the closest way possible to be the safest. That's it. You can fight enemies who are much higher level than you with no armor, but that's very skill based. Like, having more armor just makes you take less damage, even if their level is higher than you. Like, this is almost independent of even your level. One of the main reasons I'm not like progressing more into the leveling before like finishing my testing is because I want to see how much this is affecting actually the damage that I'm taking. And to be honest, it's almost nothing. Almost nothing. Like, it is effective, like how much damage you're doing to them, but when they are doing damage to you, the only modifier is that your armor matters, your level does not matter that much. yeah, so that's it. Like, that's all you need to know about the armor. Armor is still like a work in progress, so it's very basic and simple in the game. Not unlike the weapon system. The weapon system, oh, let's get into it. So whenever you're looking at a weapon, you see 5 stats, let's say. Let's take the tooltip as a stat as well. So you have attack, you have item level, you have slash, crude, pierce, and then you have the base stat, which is like the agility, strength, and precision right now. And how this works is a little bit weird. Okay, it's a little bit weird. So, for example, like, do you see that 250 in the slash damage? That does not mean that you're doing 250. Yeah, we're gonna spend a lot of time here. Okay, I do not have the editing skills to take you on a journey and tell you things while numbers pop out from... I don't have time, man. I'm a part-time YouTuber. Have mercy on my soul. So this is basically how the weapon damage is calculated right now. See, we have the slash damage, so it is slash damage multiplied by the agility strength. We're gonna call it the scaling modifier, let's say. You're a scaling modifier. Can be agility, can be strength like these, or can be precision like the rapiers. But yes, it is basically your damage multiplied by your scaling modifier. For example, on this weapon it's A level. I will tell you what those mean as well, with some numbers and percentages too. Plus multiplied by the enemy mitigation. What is enemy mitigation? You have seen a lot of enemies like around you. Like, there is living enemies, there is undead enemies, there is armored enemies, and there's animals. The basic way to tell if an enemy is armored, like, just look at it. Like, that's the easy part of it. But basically, do you see this armor? The 2 armor that they have? Basically, any enemy that has more than this 2 armor, except the generals from humanoids, they are armored enemies most of the time. Even the big Trents that throw rocks at you, those are armored enemies as well. And side tip, as we are here, if an enemy is armored, no matter what your weapon or its scale is, crude weapons are better against it. Because yes, these weapons are specifically made for staggering armored enemies. It takes a lot more. It takes almost 2 armor out of them most of the time when you hit them with a good attack. So no matter how much you damage with a slash weapon or you block them, having a mace to the face is the best way to deal with the armored enemies. Now, back to the stats. So, as I said, look, my slash damage modified by my agility multiplied or against, like, let's say, for example, the mob is a little bit armored. It's gonna get like 0.88-ish damage from me. So I have negative 12% mitigation because the enemy is a little bit rough on the edges. So I will do something in that equation amount of damage to it. Okay, that's how you calculate the final hit. And about like how your stats, like each of these stats give you damage, it is basically right now something about like, and it's depending on your modifiers. For example, see, like B, we have A, we even have S on some of the okay, not here, but you can see it on the ascended weapons, for example. We even have S levels, like the reliable pistol. This S level is what really matters. So every point in a stat that is here, for example, let's say precision. So if a weapon is D, okay, if a weapon is D tier, it takes something between 0.2 to 0.4% more damage. If it is C, it does half to 0.7% more damage. Okay, and if it's B, it takes 1.8 to 1%. If it's A, it is 1.2% to 1.4%. Like this thing. And if it is S tier now, it takes 1.5% to 1.7% extra damage from everything else. Now, if you want to simplify this, basically for every 10 agility that you have, basically a weapon that's like A level, for example, you gave 10 agility to yourself, you will get 12 damage, or if you're doing 100, okay? Or let me put it like this. You get 12.5% damage for 10 agility points. So until 20, when you have, like me, so if you have 20 agility right now, what does this 20 agility means? It means that if I am carrying an A-tier weapon, like the dueling greatsword, I will do 25% more damage from my slash damage with my weapon. That is why, for example, like if you have watched my videos, this is my hybrid build. This is the build that I'm literally using for fighting right now. I'm mainly cutlass, then I changed to this for healing, and this is my weapon for just normal fighting. Especially if I'm fighting armored enemies, because I just made this build so I can fight both armored enemies and humanoids and so on. So I am actually a full agility build using blades, but this is my set. This is for killing armored enemies. This is for killing anything else. And, oh, my cutlass build is nice. It does like 2,500, 3,000 damage per attack sometimes. It is amazing. You don't need to do the explosion thing with it, but it's all that there is to it. And for example, like there are a lot of discussions about what is the best weapon. The best weapon is the weapon that you're most comfortable with, okay? It is the weapon that kept you alive for the longest, basically. So whatever weapon keeps you alive the most, that is the best weapon in the game. That's it. For me, in the mid-game, it was Rapier of the 1,000 Cuts. Okay, it was this weapon. Why, you may ask? Because, well, I don't fight like a man. I don't like it. I like my life. I'm a farmer, okay? I hit things, I run, they bleed, they die. I'm happy, they're happy. I put a bullet between their eyes, everything is done. But when you are in the late game and you want to have fun the way you want to, not the way that people tell you that this is the best, anything is best if you can, like, make it work. There are broken builds like the rifle builds, but come on, what is the fun in that? That is not even original. I mean, if it's not me, it is nothing to me. That basically explains it. And there are other things like the weapons tooltips that you have to keep in mind. For example, when you're making a build with a mace, see, the mace is that the more stamina you have, the more damage you deal. For example, like when I made a video about like a build with the mace, like that's basically an endurance, mainly endurance build, which can go up to like 40 endurance with the drink with coffee, actually. But instead of using a critical set, what I used with that set is damage reduction set, like 2 pieces of damage reduction set from the Conquisitor. Where are you? Where are you, mate? Yeah, like I used 2 pieces of this for damage reduction because, well, I'm gonna be in their face. Then I had temporal health gain because I want to be just up close and personal. And also, well, you can use attacks consume 20% less stamina set. Yes, now you have a weapon that scales with the stamina. Also, you take less damage. And even if you take less damage, your temporal health, which is the scarlet health bar that you get, like up here if you look at your HP, like they hit you, you have 2 HP bars now. One is red, one is scarlet. That the scarlet part fills up as you deal damage to the enemy. So if you have, for example, like the talent that gives you more effectiveness of temporal health converting, you do more. If you add, for example, temporal health gain when taking damage, now you will gain even more HP and you will receive more HP and you have damage resistance, so you can be in their face and I don't need to parry because maces cannot perfect block. Perfect block is the action when you do this and you ding their attack and they can't like hit you anymore. You reduce their posture. Let's say, I'm gonna call it armor, like who cares about posture? That's preposterous naming. Posture. We are not gentlemen fighting in a dueling ground. What do you mean posture? I'm a pirate, man. Like, who cares? Armor down, kill. That's it. It's armor. I'm gonna call it armor. Don't change my mind, please. Let me be happy in my small little world. But that's about the stats like this. That's how the stats affect your damage. So when you're making a weapon, first thing first, upgrade it. Get to at least 20. Yeah, there's also the diminishing returns in this game, I have to say. After you reach 20 stats in anything that is here, you only get 1.6 times. For example, if you were getting that 2.5% damage for an S weapon, you will get something like 1.3% damage only for 21 agility. For the 1 agility after 20 agility. So you'll have 25%, then when you go to 21, you will get something like 26.6% extra damage with 21 agility. That's it. It goes for everything, even mastery, even vitality, even endurance. That's it. So that's another thing that you have to keep in mind when you're making your build. But there's also the fact that you can make hybrid builds and the sidearm. For example, look, right now I have two options. Most of us have the same two options. For the sidearm, when we are carrying this, you're either a Drake's double-barreled pistol guy or a reliable pistol guy. Look, this does 380, like the attack is not important. You can just upgrade the weapon. This has 380 pierce and an A stat, A level stat, on precision. This has 420 pierce, but a B tier stat on precision. So which one should you use? Just don't look even at the, the tooltip. Okay? See, I have 0 precision. I am an agility based guy. So, when I'm playing this, no matter how much this is getting from precision, it is giving me nothing. Absolutely nothing as damage. So, no matter what I do, same level, Drake's double-barrel pistol will always do more damage than the reliable pistol in my set. Why? Because I do not have precision. So the base modifier that has pierce 380 versus 420, well, 420 wins. That's it. And aside from that, Drake's double pistol gives me 15% more damage done to the enemies. And on top of that, I get 90% more damage from attacking things with cutlass. So when I'm hitting something, they explode for 2,600 to 4,000 damage with the cutlass. It is amazing. But again, for example, like in the mid-game, this is like the last part that I'm gonna blab about things. But yeah, basically it's it. For example, if you don't have like any precision stat or agility stat, you don't need to care about like this scaling. But for example, I'm an agility guy. I want to have a sidearm that actually helps me deal more damage time to time, because I don't want to like fight ranged mobs like up close. So look, 180 pierce. Okay, I will actually... Yeah, that one sucks. This one sucks too. Yeah, like this thing is not very conventional. Let's assume that they don't have tooltips. Look, these D tier 160 pierce, this is B tier 575 pierce. So this is 180 pierce. Because they have modifiers, they made the pierce damage low, so it makes up for it somehow. But basically Dragon Breath always does more damage because it explodes. But for example, see, like if you want a sidearm, just put this somewhere so you can actually use it for attacking enemies from afar. Yeah, that's it too. I don't really like using this weapon. It's like, it feels like cheating. It takes the whole challenge of the game out. Yeah, infantry musket is best, but it sucks at the same time so bad. And yes, for example, like even if Dragon Breath is my, let's say I have both of these, I will be using the musket because, well, I don't trust chance hits. That's number one. Plus, this is D tier, this is B tier. This gives me much more damage. I will be using this instead of this, even though this has a tooltip on it. Even though it can sometimes do more damage and do area damage. I don't care. I don't take things for granted, or I don't gamble on my pirate's life. Guarantee person. Always use the thing that has no thing on it. And maybe sometimes you can just poke people with the F. Yeah, and it also goes agility, so that is another big thing about the infantry musket. It is amazing. And anyways, like, these are literally everything that we currently as player know about the weapon system. Look, I will repeat it again. If you have the personal level, player level, character level, plus the weapon level, nothing really matters more than how comfortable you are with the weapon that you're playing. There are more things to consider in this game aside from the mid-maxing of your weapons scaling, for example. Like, even though like I'm here, I just left my agility at 20, and I even use and go over 20 with vitality and endurance. Like, my like most favorite food in the game right now is just this two. Yeah, this gives me vitality, this gives me endurance. Because why? A dead pirate does 0 DPS. That's the basic thing that you need to know and care about. And I'm getting the 20 not even with the stats. I'm getting it with the cutthroat and the agility. And, well, I only put points of mastery. Who cares? More damage or less damage. I'm alive, I'm running around, I'm kicking things. I'm good. And it's what works for me. Because, well, I'm also using a crit set. So why not use that instead of base agility? Crit is not affected by level difference. Anyways, and well, take care of your bullets too. Copper bullets do the job. Don't go iron, especially if you're like me and don't have enough time. Just do copper. It works like magic. That's it. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you think. If you think or if you know more, or I did not mention anything about the weapons systems or the stats that are in the weapons, let me know in the comment section. And if you have definite numbers or there are news, let me know in the comment section too. I am a exploit, extra system making and game analysis channel in general, and gaming channel. So let me know, and well, hoping to see more of the Windrose community around and discussing things about the game. I want to learn more. Teach me more, please. I want to know everything about this game. And well, thanks for your support. Thanks for the likes. Thanks for the hypes. And thanks for everything from this Windrose community and my community from the other games. If it's nighttime, I hope you sleep like babies. And if it's daytime... Oh, I forgot to tell you. Humanoids and animals bleed better because they have blood. Undead enemies bleed as well, but when you go to the swamp, some of the enemies do not have blood. That is why the Rapier of the 1,000 Cuts is not that good there. It is still kills, but it's not as fast as it used to be. So you can still use it, but well, it does less damage. Stay safe, stay awesome, and keep sailing. See you in the next video, fellas. See you in the next video.